Good morning students, Sairam. Welcome to this session. Today we are going to do a revision part of the lesson number 3. We have done this lesson long back before the unit test. So let me revise the lesson. Today we will learn only asexual reproduction in plants as well as we will revise the sexual reproduction in plants. Okay. So we'll see what is reproduction. Formation of new organism of same species is called as reproduction. This is also one of the various reasons responsible for evolution of each species. We all know this, because of reproduction only different species are formed. Now there are two types of reproduction we have learnt. One is asexual reproduction, one is sexual reproduction. So in this session we learn about asexual reproduction in plants as well as sexual reproduction in plants. Okay. So what is meant by asexual means process of formation of new organism by an organism of the same species without the involvement of gametes. There is no fusion of gametes. So this is called as asexual reproduction. So as this reproduction does not involve union of two gametes, the new organism has exact genetic similarity with the reproducing organism. Okay, they will be similar. Okay, and it is uniparent parental. That means only one parent is involved in this division. And asexual reproduction we have seen in unicellular organisms. There are three we have learned. One is binary fission. What is binary fission? Multiple fission and budding we learned in unicellular organism. What is binary fission? We learned the examples of amoeba, paramecium as well as euglena in binary fission. Under amoeba, we all know amoeba does not have any shape, so it is in any angle. That is simple binary fission. The parent cell divides into two daughter cells, and in any angle it divides, and the nucleus also enters into the two new daughter cells, and like this two daughter amoeba, the parent divides into two. Okay, this is simple binary fission. Under paramecium we learnt as transverse binary fission. In this you can see how the division takes place in the transverse direction, in the horizontal way, and there is two paramecium formed. This is transverse binary fission. And we learnt in euglena, it is longitudinal binary fission. It takes place in the axis, longitudinal axis. You can see how the division takes place, and two euglena are formed from the parent euglena. This is longitudinal binary fission. And we also learned second type was multiple fission. There is asexual reproduction by multiple fission is performed by amoeba and other protists. Amoeba stops the formation of pseudopodia and thereby movement whenever and thereby there is no movement, and whenever there is lack of food or any other type of adverse. So in adverse condition, what happens, this amoeba or other protists, they do not produce pseudopodia and they will form a cyst. Okay, and inside the cyst there is nuclear division as well as cytoplasmic division inside itself, and many amoebulae, they are called as cyst, I told you, and inside that amoeba, inside that itself many amoebulae are formed, and when under favorable conditions they will burst open and the small amoeba comes out. So this is called as multiple fission. You can see the parent amoeba, under unfavorable condition what happens, they will form a cyst and nuclear division takes place, cytoplasmic division takes place inside that, and after that many under favorable condition they will burst open. That is the multiple fission. Then we saw budding we saw in yeast. So you can see the parent yeast, they have a small growth, outgrowth will form, a bulge will be formed on the yeast, and the nuclear also, the small nucleus also goes into that new bud, and the new bud will have nucleus. When they develop fully, they will detach from the parent. This is the budding. Okay, these three we learnt in unicellular. Now we come to multicellular. What we learned? We learned fragmentation, regeneration, budding, vegetative propagation, and spore formation. What did we learn under fragmentation? Under fragmentation we saw under favorable conditions, Spirogyra, what it happens, they will break into pieces and into fragments, and each fragment will start growing on its own. So this is fragmentation. and we saw regeneration. Like planaria, what happens? It breaks into small pieces, and each piece will grow into a full planaria. This is called as regeneration. Okay, I have explained everything in detail long back. You can see that video. This is just a revision of the full half lesson we have learned. Okay, and in Hydra we learned, this is budding, fourth one. This is third one. Budding. In budding, what happens? Small outgrowth is formed on the parent, and the nasal cavity and the digestive canal all are attached to the parent, and the nutrition is sent through to the bud and when the bud is fully grown, it will detach from the parent and it will start growing. This is budding of Hydra. Next we learn vegetative propagation. That means reproduction with the help of the vegetative parts like roots, stems, leaves, etc. are called as vegetative propagation. This is in the example we learned potatoes that has got eyes present on the tubers, and bryophyllum buds are present on the leaf margin, they will start growing. And we show sugarcane and grasses, buds are present on the nodes, as well as radish and carrot. With the help of the roots, they do vegetative propagation, and we have seen the diagram of it also. This is the vegetative propagation. You can see the bryophylla on the nodes. The leaves. In the leaves, you can see how in the leaf margin there are small leaflet coming. Even in the potatoes, you can see how their roots form. You can see this. This is vegetative propagation. And last one we learned was spore formation. Spore formation, this we have learned long back itself. How spores of how when you take a piece of bread or bakri or chapati and keep it, moist it and close it and keep, you will see fungus. This fungus, this is reproduction takes place inside that, and the spores are formed inside the sporangium, and when it is favorable conditions, they will burst open and the spores are released, and it is a new fungal colony is formed. So these were the unicellular and multicellular reproduction taking place. We saw different method. In unicellular we saw binary fission, multiple fission and budding. In multicellular organisms we saw fragmentation, regeneration, budding, vegetative propagation, as well as spore formation. Hope till here you are clear. Now we will see about the sexual reproduction in plants. Okay. In sexual reproduction, we have the main part of the which is involved in reproduction is the flower. Okay, we all know the outermost whorl is called as the calyx, then the corolla, then you have the androecium and the gynoecium. Okay, we all know it is androecium and gynoecium are called as the essential whorls because they are involved in reproduction. Okay, accessory whorls are the calyx and corolla. This we know. And this is androecium and gynoecium. You can see here, it is the male whorl. Remember this dash is the male whorl of the flower. Androecium, it is made up of the members of this are called as stamens, and gynoecium is the female whorl of the flower, and its members are known as carpels. This is important. Okay, and this is the structure of the gynoecium. You can see here it is made up of style. The long tube-like structure is called as the style, and topmost part is called as the stigma, and the middle, the base is called as the ovary. And the ovary contains ovules. The six ball-like structure which is seen inside is called ovules. You can see here. Okay, the embryo sac are formed in every ovule. In every ovule there is the embryo sac, and each embryo sac consists of one haploid egg cell and 2 haploid polar nuclei. So remember this, ovary is made up of ovules. Okay, and the ovule and embryo sac are formed in each ovules by meiosis. Embryo sacs are formed, and each embryo sac consists of 1 haploid egg and 2 haploid polar nuclei. This is important. What does each embryo sac contains? 1 haploid egg and 2 haploid polar nuclei. Okay, then what happens during pollination? The stigma becomes sticky. Okay, and the pollen grains germinate when they fall upon the sticky stigma, and they stick to the stigma, and the long polar tube and two male gametes are formed. So two male gametes and the polar long pollen tube are formed when the pollen grains stick to the stigma. This pollen tube, what is the function of the pollen tube? They carry the male gametes into the ovary. Okay, this they carry the male gametes into the ovary, and when they reach the pollen tube reaches the embryo sac via style. So through the style, the pollen tube enters and it goes into the male gametes reaches the ovary. So tip of the pollen tube bursts and two male gametes are released in the embryo sac. Okay, you can see there. I'll show you the figure. So when it comes near that embryo sac, the pollen tube bursts and the two male gametes are released into the embryo sac. So what happens then? One male gamete unites with the egg cell. Okay, remember this. One male gamete unites with the egg cell to form the zygote. This is called as fertilization. So how many male gametes are released inside? So when the pollen tube bursts, the two male gametes which reaches the embryo sac, out of that one male gamete unites with the egg to form the zygote. Okay, so only one will fuse with the egg to form the zygote. This is called as fertilization. After that, the second male gamete, the two male gametes are released. In that, second male gamete unites with two polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. Okay, the second male gamete unites with what? Two polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. As two nuclei participate in this process, it is called as double fertilization. Okay, why it is called double fertilization? As two nuclei participate in this process. So we saw one male gamete unite with the egg to form the zygote, and the second male gamete unites with the two polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. I'll show you the figure. You can see here. In the first figure, you can see the style. About topmost part is the stigma, then the style and the ovary. Okay, so you can see in the second figure, you can see how pollen grains when they come inside, they male gametes to more, and the pollen tube, you can see the white tube like structure which is called as the pollen tube is formed, and two male gametes enter into the through the style. Okay, pollen tube is formed. So when it goes and it reaches you can see that in third figure, you can see they mark the ovules. These 6 are the ovules, and each ovule is made up of what? Embryo sac. So when the two male, you can see the two male gametes, when they come near and the pollen tube burst open, if you come to the embryo sac. In that, one male gamete fuses with the egg cell to form the zygote, and the other male gamete fuses with the polar nucleus inside the ovule. You can see there polar nucleus, two polar nucleus are there, and the endosperm is formed. So this is called as the double fertilization method because two nuclei are involved. Okay, children, I think you have understood now. Only we have finished of plants. Okay, we saw asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms. Revise what we have learned. We have learnt about binary fission. In that we have learnt the examples of amoeba, that is simple binary fission, then transverse binary fission in paramecium, and longitudinal in euglena, that is binary fission. That is, the parent is divided into two daughter cells. Then we learned multiple fission, that is in adverse condition when there is lack of food. They stop forming the pseudopodia and this amoeba, and they'll form a cyst, and inside the cyst itself multiplication takes place, and many amoebulae are formed. Under favorable condition, they will burst open. And we saw budding in yeast, and we saw how small bud is come on the parent, and the daughter nucleus also enter into the bud. And when it is grown fully, it will fall off and it will grow. And we saw in multicellular organisms, we saw fragmentation in Spirogyra, how it breaks into fragments and each will develop into a daughter Spirogyra. Then we saw regeneration, that we saw in Planaria, how it breaks up into small pieces and each piece will develop into a new planaria, that is regeneration. Then we saw budding in Hydra, a small outgrowth is formed and it is attached to the mother parent, and it is nutrition is passed through that outgrowth into the outgrowth, and when it is fully grown it will detach. Then we saw vegetative reproduction, that is in the plants with the help of vegetative parts like roots, stems, leaves. Then we saw spore formation, okay, that is in mucus we saw. And we have already learnt about sexual reproduction in flower. In plant we saw about the flower and how the male androecium, male part is called as androecium and the female are called as gynoecium. When both sexes are present in the same flower, it is called as bisexual flower. If only one sex, either male or female, is present in the flower, it is called as unisexual flower. And we saw the process, how fertilization takes place. The pollen tube is formed and two male gametes enters, it comes to the ovary and then it comes to the ovules, and embryo site releases into the embryo sac, and one fuses with the egg cell and one other gamete fuses with the two polar nuclei. Hope this concept is very clear, children. Now we will see some of the question types. Choose the correct option. Euglena divides by dash binary fission. What type of binary fission? You revise. I think by now, by the figure itself, you know it is which type? It is longitudinal binary fission. This will be the correct answer. Okay. Simple is which one? Amoeba will come under simple binary fission. Transverse which binary fission? Paramecium, transverse binary fission, and Euglena, it is longitudinal binary fission. So only the correct option you will have to mark. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question. Dash becomes sticky during pollination. Which becomes sticky during pollination? Whether it is style, stigma or ovary. What will be the answer, children? It is stigma. The stigma becomes, this will be the answer. Okay. The stigma becomes sticky during pollination is the answer. So second one is the answer. You have to just choose the correct answer. Okay. So next one, shall go to the next. Okay. Find the odd man out. Hydra, Planaria, Yeast, Spirogyra. Recollect the page of the textbook that you remember where Hydra is coming, which place it is there you remember. Then you will come to know which is the odd man. From this, which is unicellular. Okay. Now you all might have, I've given the clue now. Only yeast is unicellular. All the others are multicellular. So yeast is the odd man. Okay. Next one. Find the correlation. Sepals is called as calyx. Petals is called what? Corolla. Even that also you need not type. You have to choose the correct option. I would have given in the exam, it will be given androecium, gynoecium, corolla. So you will have to choose, or staples, carpels, corolla. You have to choose the correct answer and write it as corolla. Okay, you have to just tick the correct answer. Okay, shall we go to the next? Okay. Yes. Now, even short answers will come for 2 marks questions. One will be there. How does, example I am giving, how does regeneration takes place in planaria? Okay, like this you can get short answers also. Now this one I expect you all to write in your notebooks. Answer in brief also. Explain binary fission in detail. Explain asexual reproduction in plants. Okay, so what you will write in about binary fission? You will write all the 3 types. Simple binary fission and which one? Transverse binary fission as well as longitudinal binary fission. With the examples you will write how it is, and explain asexual reproduction in plants. Which one you will write? You will write about the vegetative propagation. Okay, so this is your homework. You can write this in your classwork and keep. So like this questions you can expect in your semester exam. Hope you all understood, children. We will see in the next video. Thank you, children.